Hello everyone, this is Christy Rubenstein from Diana T. Myers and Associates, and welcome to this video, which will provide you with a quick tour of the attachment upload form survey that we'll be using for the ODFC Renewal Project Evaluation in 2020. The survey should be familiar for anyone who filled out the very similar survey for the 2019 Renewal Project scoring. There are a few updates, but it's largely the same survey. So I've already got the attachment upload form survey open in my web browser. And you can see that the first page includes some general instructions and notes. And we always, of course, suggest you read through these to make sure you understand what the instructions are. But I'll hit a few highlights here. I just want to make sure that you are aware of. So first, please follow the naming conventions provided for each file. In the next page, you'll see we specify how to name each file. It's really important. It helps us stay organized and make sure we have all the documents from you that we need. Again, be sure to submit the form on time. And also be sure to remove any personally identifiable information for project clients. There should be no client level personal information in the documents that you are uploading as part of this submission. If you're not sure what attachments are required, you can refer back to the 2019 Renewal Project scoring standards. If you click on this link, the scoring standards will appear and you can scroll through and make sure that you have a clear understanding of what you need to submit and why. Also, if you have multiple projects, be aware that there are agency level documents that you only need to submit once. And where we ask for the grant number, that means that we would like for you to use the first 6 digits of the grant number in most cases. If you're submitting an attachment that isn't listed, just be sure that you include again that grant number and the name of your agency so that we are clear what it's attached to. And you can always use the Save and Continue Later button to continue with the survey if you are interrupted, if you have to stop. You don't have to complete everything at one time, but you can use that button to save your work and come back to it later. If you have any questions about the survey as you work to complete it, you can contact Pam or I at the ODFC Gmail account, and we'll be able to assist you. Now, there's nothing you need to click or submit to move to the next page. You just click Next, and you'll get the survey. This is the bulk of the survey right here, all on one page. Now, I've already got one where I've filled everything in so that we'll be able to submit it. And the first section here is for agency and project information. Again, we want to just make sure we know what project this information is related to. So just make sure you fill that out. And as always, please be sure to have a contact person that's going to be available over the next few weeks in case we need to reach out to you for any questions or follow-up. The next section is the required project level documents section. Again, some of these documents that you're going to be submitting really need to be at the project level, and then there are a few that are at the agency level. So right now we're going to focus on the project level documents. And the first one that is requested is an APR run for the calendar year 2019. We ask that you use the 2020 version of the APR for this submission. And be sure to use the naming convention that we've specified. Now, when you run your APR, you can go through and manually compile it all into one Excel file, or you could submit it as 2 Excel files. If you're going to submit it as 2 Excel files, we ask that you please follow this naming convention. The questions 1 through 7 are going to be the data quality related tables. All the rest will be the main tables. So please go ahead and name them as such so that we can differentiate what we're looking at. And again, you're going to have to upload these as Excel documents when you use this browse function. The only documents you're going to be allowed to upload will be those with the extension .xls or .xlsx. So just be aware that you're only going to be able to upload Excel documents here. So when you're in CT-HMIS and you go to export your APR, be sure that you're exporting an Excel version of the APR and not a PDF version, because you won't be able to upload that. If you need instructions for how to run the APR, simply click here and you'll get the cheat sheet for how to go about running the APR. Those are pretty basic instructions. You can also visit the CCH data quality website for instructions and also the CTA HMIS webpage. So we'll move on. That particular question is the only one I think that it really limits you in terms of the type of document that you can upload, it being an Excel file. All the others you should be able to upload it either as a Word or a PDF file, whatever works for you. So the next one is the ELOCS documentation. And for this one, we really just ask that you go through the steps to create the summary page on the drawdowns. We do not really want the individual voucher pages. We would really prefer the summary page. And there's an example of this. If you click here, the summary page looks like this. And again, lists all the draws and the dates and the amounts, which is really what we need. And again, please follow the naming convention to be sure that we know what we're looking at. If you need to submit multiple ELOCS summary pages, you can do that. You'll just click the browse button each time you want to upload a new document. And now the APR submission date and the APR submission, a copy of the APR, these again relate to the APR that you submitted to HUD through SAGE, not the APR that you're giving to us for this evaluation. Those are two distinct processes, right, and different APRs. So just to clarify, we need to see the date of the submission. And so we've given you examples of submissions. If you click on that link, you can see what we'll accept. But anything that really truly indicates like this was submitted on what date. If you're going to use the SAGE page, just please be sure that you open up this other box so that we can see the actual submission date of the data. And again, submit the APR. This one can be a PDF, it does not, obviously it's coming through SAGE. So we're not asking here for an Excel version. The Excel version is for the data that we're looking at for this evaluation. Now, in terms of required agency level documents, you only need to submit these once. If you've submitted them with another project, you can just list here the name of that project. You just use the grant number, CTO, whatever the other digits are. And then we'll be able to connect the projects together and understand that you've already submitted that information. These are not required because you could submit with another project. Up here, these are required attachments, but these are not. So just be sure you submit it. If you have multiple projects, be sure that you submit it with at least one of your projects and that you don't forget to do that. Again, scrolling down, there's a section that's for DV projects only. Now, if you said no here, these boxes actually wouldn't appear, but I said yes, and I've gone ahead and sort of uploaded the documents. Again, I'm following the naming protocol here. That's what we're going to ask you to do. And only if you have been monitored in the last 2 years do you need to submit any HUD monitoring information. Most of you will say no here, you won't even get this box. But if you have been monitored and you have some records to submit, it's likely that you have more than one document. When you're doing monitoring, there's often some back and forth. We ask that you number these just so that we can kind of keep them clear in terms of what these different documents are. We also ask you to clearly state how many documents you're submitting so that we can go back and check and make sure we have everything. And then if you need to submit any additional documentation, you can do so, and you can explain what it is and why you've submitted it. So we can go ahead and click the submit button and go to our thank you page. Again, we're going to note here on the thank you page that you're required to do 3 different surveys, and we give you the links to those surveys so that you can go to them if you need be. And also to note that you should get a confirmation email. And please note that the copy of the response should include links to the different documents that you've submitted. So you can always go back and check to make sure you submitted the right thing. If you don't get that confirmation email, please contact us and we'll be sure to send that along so that you have it on file for your records. With that, I'll say thanks for joining us. I hope this video was helpful and have a great day.